So which slide are you talking about?
I'm talking about from the individual scholarship program, which is 𝐏𝐚𝐽𝐬 and in-region scholarship. Yeah. So maybe you start up from here, and then you can continue till this 42 slides, till number 42, and then you give it back to me, because then I'll give 2-3 sentences about the visa, and then I will end the thing. You know. So only those in-region and the 𝐏𝐼SCA scholarship part maybe would be good if you can do.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. Okay, fine. So you're going to introduce the scholarships that, you know, DAD gives, what kind of scholarships. So I'll start with this, slide 33.
Exactly, with this slide. Yes, exactly.
And end with application process slide.
Exactly. That is the last slide for the scholarship part, I mean.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
fine.
because I did not go into the more detailed things, you know, that is not required at the moment.
I understand. Okay.
Great, good. Fine.
Okay. I have to go get some water and everything, so I'll be back.
Yeah, sure.
I'm around.
Yeah, yeah.
You were saying something, Anamika?
Yes, ma'am. I can't understand.
Were you saying something?
No, ma'am.
No, okay. I thought you wanted to make a. Okay, no problem. Ajit, light jala lo, beta.
Hello, Frau Anamika. The program begin. Programs.
Ma'am, program will be start within a couple of minutes. I hope so.
This is Modular Chaudhary. I can
yeah.
Hello.
Ja, Frau wie geht es?
Ja, mir geht es gut, danke. Wie geht es Ihnen?
Auch gut.
Auch gut?
Ja,
sehr
auch
schön,
gut.
sehr schön.
Vielen Dank für das Programm.
Ja, kein Problem, kein
ja.
Problem. Ja, und ich hoffe, dass alle Studenten, die Deutsch lernen, jetzt im Moment bei Ihnen, werden auch davon sehr behilflich sein und dass sie bekommen die Information. Das war mein Ziel. Ne? Also deswegen, weil wir persönlich nicht nach hinkommen kann. Dieses Jahr habe ich mir überlegt, das ist die richtige Weg, das zu machen. Und das werde natürlich Ihr Studenten helfen, ne?
Ja. ich habe alle Studenten informiert.
Ja, sehr schön. Wie viele haben Sie jetzt?
30.
30.
Ja.
Okay, ich wollte Sie vorstellen mit unserer Kollegin Pooja Mitha. Sie ist zuständig für dieses neue Stipendiumprogramm.
Ja.
Pooja Mitha ist zuständig dafür und werde informieren heute. Vielleicht hat sie auch geschrieben zu euch über dieses neue Stipendiumprogramm. Pooja, das ist die Manjula Chaudhry, die ist die Lehrerin, Deutschlehrerin in Rajshahi University. Ja?
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Uh,
Nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So I'll be talking about this new program for Bangladesh, actually university summer courses. I'm sure you got my mail?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, that's great. That's great. So yeah.
Many thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Same here.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
And Mrs. Manjula, we also have our colleague, Mrs. Anurupa Dikshit. She's responsible for the DAAD Scholarship Program, doctoral studies, as well as master's studies program. You know, there are very few scholarships, as you remember, I told her last time. So for all those, she's responsible. Yeah, Pooja is responsible for very specific scholarship programs and this new program, but Anurupa is responsible for the doctoral programs.
Oh, yeah. Hello. Nice to meet you. Hello, nice to meet you. I am Professor Dr. Manjula Chaudhary. Basically, a professor in Sanskrit and ich unterrichte Deutsch here, and I give lessons of German in two courses, eins und A2. Since 1991. 1991. From 1991 and at this
Okay,
university.
bis zum A2. Geht es nicht weiter? B1? Wird das auch unterrichtet? Nein. Okay. Aber
Nein.
ich glaube, die Studenten gehen zum Max-Müller-Bhavan weiter zu studieren, oder?
Die gehen nach
Goethe
Institute.
Goethe-Institut, tut mir leid. In Indien nennt man es Max Müller. Okay, Goethe. Ich bin sicher, es gibt viele Studenten, die für HSK Hochschulsommerkurs interessiert werden.
I studied German at Calcutta University first and made my diploma. Thereafter in Berlin Goethe Institute.
Okay.
Also in Goethe Institute, Dhaka.
Okay. Mine ist auch von Calcutta University.
Oh yeah. I am an ex-student of Calcutta University.
Even he is.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I have a little query. What's the
Yes.
correct spelling? DAAD or DAAD? Naki DAAD?
DAAD. DAAD.
Okay, ma'am.
You can say DAD. DAAD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Or
DAAD.
DAAD. It's better to call, we call it DAD.
Exactly. We call it daddy.
Daddy. Dad.
Most pretty.
So how many students are there studying German?
30 students this year.
How many?
30.
30.
Yeah.
So they're doing a degree in...
Doing just eins.
Okay, but it's a certificate course or it's a degree, proper BA German?
Certificate course.
Okay.
Due to Corona, no student for ASY.
Okay, so they are enrolled at your university doing different degrees, but they're also doing this certificate.
Yeah, their major subjects are others. Yeah.
We can start, right, Romana?
Yeah, Anamika, what about starting? Should we wait more or we can start?
Ma'am, within a couple of minutes. Just within a couple of minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
In the month of February, German ambassador Henrik visited us.
Yes, I remember you told me. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It was a very pleasant
Yeah, all of a
surprise
sudden
and
he
very
decided to go to
physically.
Rajshahi because I have been telling it to him all the time, and then all of a sudden he decided to go. He asked me also if I can join, but at that point of time I did not have the time, and I told him that I'm extremely sorry, I won't be able to join. We wanted to, do the session, otherwise it doesn't make any sense for me to come. So then he said, okay, I'll go alone.
We all enjoyed accompany.
Yeah, I also enjoyed. Me and Tamara, you remember the last time?
Yeah, last time.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, Tamara also misses that. It's just due to this corona that we could not come this year. Otherwise, it was already planned. No? So, yeah, I mean, what a pity.
We may start now. Honorable audience, am I
Yes,
audible? Could you kindly assure me that? Thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I am Anamika Pal, Vice Chairperson of IEEE University of Rajshahi Student Branch and student of University of Rajshahi, Department of Information and Communication Engineering. All of you are cordially welcomed to our today's webinar, which is jointly organized by IEEE University of Rajshahi Student Branch, Institute of English and Other Languages, and DAAD Bangladesh. Our today's webinar title is Higher Study in Germany. We're glad to know that today we have three honorable speakers. Our honorable speaker is Mrs. Anurupa Dixit, ma'am, Program Officer, DAAD Regional Office, New Delhi. Our another honorable speaker, Mrs. Pooja Midha, ma'am, Program Officer, DAAD Regional Office, New Delhi, and Rumana Kabir, ma'am, DAAD Representative, Bangladesh. Including 58 IEEE members, a total of 330 plus has registered to join the event of 54 institutions from different countries. Anyone also can be connected with this webinar platform through the live telecast from our official Facebook page, IEEE University of Rajshahi Student Branch. Actually, we decided to live on Facebook platform so that many more can be facilitated. Honorable participants, please keep your microphone mute and kindly try to cooperate with us. If you have any queries, you can feel free to ask in the chat box. By the way, those persons who are connected with us through Facebook Live, you can also ask question in the comment section. It may be Bengali or English, doesn't matter. We must try to reach those questions to our honorable speakers. Honorable participants will provide a feedback form link in the chat box. Please don't forget to fill up that feedback form. It's essential for providing your e-certificate through email. Okay. Now we are going to the main part of our event. At first, I am going to our honorable sir, Professor Dr. M.D. Shoidullah, sir, Director of English and Other Languages, University of Rajshahi. I would like to request our honorable Professor Dr. M.D. Shoidullah, sir, to say something. Sir. Maybe sir can't join with us due to some technical difficulties. We may move forward to our honorable speaker, Miss Rumana Kabir, ma'am. Ma'am.
Yes. Thank you, Anamika. At first, I'd like to really thank the organizers, especially Sabir, Anamika, and of course the Department of IML, Professor Manjula Chaudhary, Professor Dr. Shahidullah, for organizing this wonderful event together. And I would also like to thank at the same point of time my colleague Anurupa and Pooja from Delhi, who has joined within this weekend of theirs for this session, because here in Bangladesh the Sunday is not a weekend, but in India Saturday and Sunday is a weekend. So thank you so much for joining for this session. So with this, I'd like to start up the session. So I would like to welcome you all again to this to the land of ideas, and we are going to discuss about higher studies and research in Germany. So to begin with, what I would like to show you
Ma'am,
is that
Mohammad Shoidullah sir has just joined with us. I want to.
sure,
Yes, sir.
sure.
Sir, please.
Sir, please.
Mute. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and I'm happy to host this program. As a matter of fact, I'd just like to give you a little background. And I talked to Ms. Rumana Kabir long back about this program, and we are thinking of hosting it on our campus, especially by our institute. And I'd just like to remind our participants that we had a very fruitful session a year and a half before, and it was a very productive session. A large number of students from Rajshahi University joined that program, and we enjoyed that program very, very much indeed. And this year also, we are planning to host a very good physical meeting on our campus in the Senate Bhavan. But unfortunately, due to this serious COVID-19 situation, we could not go for that. And it was very nice of Mr. Manakabir that she invited us to organize a webinar like this, as we are holding today. And I must acknowledge my gratefulness to our students of IEEE that they helped us a lot. And in fact, they, on their own initiative, they contacted Ms. Rumana Kabir and volunteered to help us. And when the proposal came to me, I welcomed this invitation, and we are here today for this session. I would welcome you all to this session, and we have two distinguished officers in the regional center of DAAD, regional office DAAD in New Delhi, and we have also our DAAD representative from Dhaka. So we'll have a very fruitful session, and I'll invite our participants to ask questions and make comments on the deliberations the three speakers will be talking about today. So with these few words, I welcome you all once again to this session, and I hope that we will have a very fruitful session. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now we may move forward to our ma'am, Ms. Rumana Kabir. Ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Professor Dr. Shoidullah, for saying these nice words.
You are very welcome. Very welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much again, and thank you for joining. So let's begin. So as I was saying, we would first of all like to tell you what the DAAD is about. Yes. So the DAAD, the German Academic Exchange Service, especially this is the English name, the German name is called Deutsche Akademische Austauschdienst, DAAD. It's a self-governing organization of German universities with 241 member universities and 104 student bodies. This has its headquarters in Bonn, and all around the world we have 70 offices. These are information centers, information points, and of course the regional offices. And we do provide scholarships, which is our main function. And we provide about 130,000 scholarships every year all around the world. Now, as I have already mentioned, the main function that we have is that we are providing scholarships for the best. And by providing scholarships, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to build up structures for internationalization, and we are trying to build expertise for academic collaboration. So these are the main aims and tasks of the DAAD. Some of of you who think that the DAD is going to completely do the whole process of going to Germany for you, let me mention to you, actually DAD is not going to be working like an agency. There are a lot of agencies in Dhaka, all around in Bangladesh, but we are not going to do this small processing or all the processing for you. Yeah, so it has to be done by you yourself, but the information, the right database will be provided by us, as well as the scholarship information will be also provided by us, but one has to apply and select the programs by themselves. This is what I wanted to really share with you, because all of you at some point of time do think that the DAD is working like an agency. Yeah. Now, why study in Germany is, of course, very important. Also, there are other reasons why Germany is a favorable country for you. Because of excellent in research and instruction, it has a close link between theory and practice. Not to forget, we are providing international programs in English medium. There are about more than 2,000 international programs in our database that you will find. That means these programs are being taught in English. So there was a time when I went to Germany, there was not too many programs that were conducted in English. But now there are more than 2,000 international programs. These programs are mainly conducted in English. So you don't have the language barrier as the main factor. Yeah. And of course, you have excellent career opportunities after you complete your study in Germany. Now, what are the main types of institution of higher education that you have in Germany? There are four mainly. These are universities, technical universities, University of Applied Sciences, colleges of music, art, and film. Now, the main difference between university and University of Applied Sciences is what I'd like to explain a little bit in brief. The university is mainly theoretical studies, and in universities you are awarded a bachelor, master's, and PhD degree. But in University of Applied Sciences, it is called in German Fachhochschule, and these are not only theoretical studies, but it is a mixture of theoretical and practical studies. That means you have more of lab work and field work. And one aspect of it that there is no PhD degree being awarded in University of Applied Sciences. Mainly they are bachelor and masters that they're awarding. Yeah? The other two, technical and colleges of music, art, and film, these are, I think, very much clear in itself. Now that we have more than 3.9 million students, this is a very recent data from 2019, which we have as the whole student number. And out of this, 13.76% of the students are foreigners. And Germany is the third most popular country for international students. Now, the number of Bangladeshi students in Germany is also a very interesting number. As you can see that it has an increasing trend. And in the last weeks, we have also received the number of students in 2019. We had 4,063 Bangladeshi students. So you can imagine that it is increasing only. Here you have in 2018, 3,220 students, and in 2019, we have 4,063 students. So it's an increasing trend. That also gives us an indication that Germany is going to be even more popular for Bangladeshi students in the coming years. Now, as I mentioned in one of the previous slides, that we have more than 2,000 international programs all over in Germany. These are mainly bachelor, master's, and structured doctoral programs. These are internationally recognized degrees. The language of instruction is mainly in English. Sometimes some of the courses are supplemented by some German language courses. And you have intensive academic advising for international students. Now comes the main question that I would like to probably answer is that, ma'am, I want to go to Germany, so how should I start, right? For example, let's say you want to go for your master's studies. Now, where should you start? What is the first step that you are supposed to do? The first thing that you are supposed to do is to look for a program for yourself. And you see that Below there are two databases, study-in-germany.de and DAAD.D international programs. These are the two databases that you need to really go through in order to find a program for yourself. So once you decide that you want to go for a master's degree, let's say mechanical engineering or any other engineering or any program, then you need to go to any one of these databases and find a program for yourself. Yeah, that you have to do on your own, because you know what you want to study. You know what are your wishes, what are your desires. So this is a very vast database that we have, and you can filter in your desires. For example, if you want to go for a totally English medium program, so you can select the medium of instruction, you can select even a city. Yeah, so if any one of you have gone through our database, probably you are familiar with it. So please go to these databases and select a program for yourself. And then one needs to go to the university webpage to see the requirements, to see the eligibility criteria, and then apply as per the application procedure. So this is the general, I would say, the procedure, how you have to go about. But the first thing you need to do is to go to these two databases to find a program for yourself. Yeah. About the German language skills, as I have mentioned, these international programs, these 2000 international programs that we have, these are mainly in English. But some of the programs do request some German language proficiency as a prerequisite. For those, you should always look into the program requirement, and if there are any requirements of German language that you have to have, then please get in touch with the IML in your university in Rajshahi, or I don't know if you're from Dhaka, then we have the Goethe Institute, where you will be able to get information on the language courses that are being offered, the timelines and everything. Yeah. Now, while doing this whole process of finding a university, applying to the university, and getting to be in Germany, how long does it take? The whole process takes about 1 year of time. Actually, there are 2 semesters in Germany. One is the winter semester, which starts in October, and we have the summer semester, which starts in April. Now, depending on which session you are willing to take up, generally for international students, we do recommend the winter semester, which starts in October. That means you should then start up this November to gather information, and by next November, you are in Germany to extend your visa. So this is the timeline that you should give yourself to be in Germany, to do the process. Yeah, but the process has to be done by yourself. Now, about the living expenditure, now you might ask me that there is no tuition fee, but why are we coming to the question of living expenditure? Now, tuition fee and living expenditure are 2 different things completely. Tuition fee is not there, that is very much true, but you do have a monthly living expenditure. And this living expenditure includes your rent, your food, clothing, study materials, your communication, your recreation, everything. So all in all, this had been calculated by the German government of around 853 euro monthly that you need to survive in Germany. Yeah, so this amount is only your living expenditure that you have to have in your account in order to survive in Germany. Yeah, this amount is going to change, of course. For your kind information, from January 2021, it is going to be 861 euro. So I would request you, for the living expenditure, to have a look into the German embassy website for the updated version. Yeah, but this is still December 2020. So from 2021, it will increase to 861 euro. Now, about the part-time work. Now, as a student, you are also allowed to work, and what you are allowed to work is 120 full days or 240 half days in a year. That is the student permission that you get as a student. You are allowed to work that amount of days. If you are willing to work more than that, then you have to take a permission from the foreign registration office that will be located in your city. Sometimes some of you do get a permission to get to do a job as a university tutor or as a research assistant under a department or a professor. Then of course you will get an extra permission, but for that you have to get it from the foreign registration office. Now, job opportunities after you complete your studies, you are allowed to work, you are allowed to look for a job for 18 months. So 1.5 years, you will get a time after you complete a degree to look for a job. And if you get a job in your study field, then you will be allowed to get your work permit. And after that, you will be allowed to extend your visa depending on your work permit. Yeah. So this is the question being answered when you ask me what about the PR and all those. So once you complete any degree, 1.5 years to look for a job. After that, you will be getting your work permit. And if you get a work permit, then you will be able to extend your visa. And after you extend your visa for 3 consecutive years, as far as we are informed, you have to also then apply for the PR, but that you have to see what are the other requirements. For example, in those cases, language is a very big requirement, and I would request you then to get those questions being answered by the foreign registration office in your city. Yeah. Now coming to the question of doctoral studies, yeah, we have mentioned about the master studies. We have also mentioned about the database. Now, what about the doctoral studies? When you want to go to Germany for your doctoral studies, you need to know a little bit about the German research landscape. Yeah, research can be done at Institute of Higher Education. You have non-university research facilities, and you have industrial research facilities. So there are 3 types of research facilities in the whole of German research landscape. Now, the main type of question that you might have in your mind, where can you do your doctorate? What are the fields of research? How can I apply for a PhD position? How do I find a host? And are there any scholarships? Now, non-university research institutions are mainly Max Planck, Helmholtz, Leibniz, Fraunhofer Gesellschaft. These are some of the non-university research institutions. Now, to give you an example about the Max Planck, it has got 83 institutes and research centers with a staff of 17,284, a budget of 1.7 billion euro. Basic research is being done. Natural science and humanities are the fields which they are covering. And we have 17 Nobel laureates from Max Planck Society. Now, basic and applied research. You see, the industry is completely a private funding, applied research. The Fraunhofer Gesellschaft is a bit of public and private funding, but it's an applied research. And the basic research, Max Planck universities, Helmholtz and Leibniz with a public funding. Yeah, so these are the basic research area. So that's to give you just a taste of the research areas. And now coming to the main part about the doctoral studies, which I wanted to discuss. You remember I showed you a slide where I talked about the structured doctoral program. Now I will give you those details. Now, if you want to go for your doctoral studies in Germany, there are 2 types of doctoral studies. One is called the individual doctoral studies. The other one is called the structured doctoral programs. Now, the main difference is that individual doctoral studies are supervised by a university professor. So you need to contact a university professor with your research proposal. And if somebody wants to supervise you, then you can proceed. Now, these are doctoral candidates here worked independently, and you require good organizational skills and a high degree of self-discipline. For the structured PhD program, these are similar to those in Anglo-Saxon countries. That means you can go to our databases that I have shown, and there you can find the structured doctoral programs. So once you go to any one of our databases, then you need to filter in which field you want to do your doctoral studies, and you can find the available programs, yeah, available structured programs in our database. But for the individual doctoral studies, you won't be able to go into a database and find a professor, because we don't have a database for the supervisor or professors. For the structured doctoral programs, you have a team of supervisors, and you have a curriculum of accompanying courses with interdisciplinary focus. So mainly, structured doctoral programs are quite similar to bachelor master's program. They are structured in a proper way, and you have fixed number of courses, fixed number of credits, and you have a thesis work, yeah? So that's called the structured doctoral program. But the individual is that you need to find a supervisor or a professor for yourself. So that is the main difference between these 2 types of doctoral programs. And the steps that you have to take in order to do this, any one of this type of doctoral programs is mainly, first of all, you need to identify a research topic. That's the first thing you need to do. And then you need to decide whether you want to go for an individual approach or you want to go for a structured approach. Yeah. And depending on that, in individual approach, as you see, you have to approach a potential supervisor or a professor. In the case of structured doctoral program, you apply for that program from our database, and then you get a letter of acceptance or confirmation of admission. And after that, once you get the confirmation or the acceptance, then you can apply for a student visa. Yeah. In case of master's program that I have mentioned, you find a program, you apply to the program. Once you get the letter of acceptance or confirmation of admission, you apply for the student visa. Yeah. So that is really the steps in a nutshell, let's say. Yeah. Now, how do you find a host or how do you find a supervisor for the individual doctoral programs? Because for the structured doctoral program, you can go to our database and find a program for yourself. But for the individual doctoral program, you need to find a supervisor. And to give you some ideas, you can find them from journals, from publication, from professors at your institutions, from senior researchers in Germany, or conferences or websites. Now, these are some of the websites that might be very helpful for you to find a supervisor. And I must mention also, by meeting professors at your institutions, there are a lot of alumni also that we have in all of Bangladeshi public universities. I'm very sure in Rajshahi, we also have an alumni. I have met already one of them, and I'm very sure that in the coming years, there will be more of alumni. So they can be also of help to you to find a professor or find a supervisor in Germany. Yeah? So do get in touch with them also. Now, scholarships. This is our main part, as I have mentioned in the beginning also. Now, DAAD is not the only organization who provides scholarship, but DAAD is the biggest scholarship provider in Europe, that is for sure. But there are other organizations, for example, politically affiliated foundation like Friedrich Ebert, Friedrich Naumann organization, but we do have business affiliated foundation, German federal states, social institutions and churches, research institutions, student organizations, besides DAAD, who are also providing scholarships. So if you see that you do not come under the DAAD scholarship schemes, then please get in touch with this website, www.funding-guide.de, from where you will be able to find out other organizations besides DAAD who are providing scholarships. Now, the types of funding that we have, that we as DAAD have, are mainly individual scholarship programs, bilateral programs, project-based programs. Yeah. Now, individual funding, this is mainly for, I think most by individual funding, what we mean is students that are graduates or doctoral students, postdocs, senior scientists, or faculty. These are individual funding. Yeah. Now, for graduates or doctoral students, the DAAD is providing scholarship in master's level only in few fields. Yeah. And I will name them, so please note them down. They are master studies in public policy and good governance. We provide scholarships in master's level in the field of architecture, fine arts, media, visual communication and film, and some development related courses. So mainly there are few programs. Again, I will name them. There are public policy, good governance, development related postgraduate courses, and in the field of architecture, music, performing art, fine art, film, design, visual communication, and film. This is for the master's level. For PhD level, any field can apply for a DAAD scholarship. Whether it is a structured doctoral program or an individual doctoral program, in both the cases, DAAD scholarship is open to all fields for doctoral studies. But for masters, it is only these few fields that I have mentioned is where we are providing DAAD scholarship. For the development-related postgraduate courses, there is a list given in our website. If you visit our DAAD Bangladesh website, and there is a scholarship database, and under the scholarship database, you will find development-related postgraduate courses. The list is given over there. There are quite a number of courses in different fields. One needs to check over there. If you're not coming under architecture, fine arts, film, media, visual communication, or public policy, good governance, then have a look into the development-related courses. But for the development related courses, you need to have 2 years of relevant work experience. So whatever course you select from that list of development related courses, you have to have 2 years of work experience on that specific field. Yeah. For architecture, for public policy, good governance, or fine arts or media, work experience is not required, but it is only for the development related courses, yeah, where it is required. For the doctoral studies, as I said, every field can apply for a DAAD scholarship. So with this, I will also like to hand over now the floor to Pooja, who is going to talk about more about the individual scholarship program. Over to you, Pooja.
Thank you, Romana. Romana, you'll have to scroll. So whenever I give you an indication, I hope it's fine.
Sure, no
Yeah,
worries.
okay. So thank you everyone for giving us this opportunity to be a part of this session. And I sincerely hope this, this session turns out to be very productive and informative for all of you. Well, I am here basically to promote 2 scholarship programs that I am responsible for. One is University Summer Courses for German Language, which is also known as Hochschul-Sommerkurse HSK, and in-region scholarship program at IIT Bombay. Next slide, please. Rumana, next slide. Thank you so much. No, you have to go back. Yes. So the good news is that this university summer courses was only offered to India and Sri Lanka so far for so many years. But for the first time with our efforts, we were also able to introduce it to Bangladesh. So this is the pilot project for Bangladesh, and we are really expecting a lot of applications from all of you. And if you have any queries, we are here to answer. So under the HSK scholarship program, regular full-time students registered in master's, bachelor's or master's degree program from any subject field, they can apply to do a German language course at state or state recognized university or at affiliated language school. The website given here, which is daad.de/HSK-course. This is the database of almost 300 programs, and there are lots of them funded by DAAD, not all of them, but it will mention which all are funded by DAAD, so you can choose those programs. So it's quite a number of programs based on this language, culture, also subject specific, technical courses. So there's a possibility of choosing from that. The prerequisite being that you have at least B1 level of German language proficiency according to CEFR, and the certificates that we accept are onset, test staff, Goethe, Nachweis, DSD, DSH, so on and so forth. The other prerequisites being that you have completed at least 2 academic years at the start of the scholarship funding, and final year students of either bachelor's or master's are not eligible. So in other words, if you're doing a 3-year degree, you should be enrolled in the 2nd year at the time of admission to be able to be eligible for this. If you're doing a 4-year, you could be in your 2nd or 3rd year, so that you can apply for this program. Next slide, please. Rumana, next slide, please. Yeah, so the duration of this scholarship program spans from June till November. So anytime between these, because it's the holiday time. And this program is for 18 teaching days, minimum 25 hours per week of teaching. So give and take approximately 3 weeks program, course that you can attend under this scholarship program. So the scholarship value here, what DAAD is offering you under this program is one-off scholarship payment of 1,061 euros. Now, since Bangladesh is a new entrant, the scholarship payment has not been fixed. It's still in the process. We'll let you know once it is. But this is for India and Sri Lanka. And then also lump sum travel subsidy. This will also probably differ in case of Bangladesh, and we are waiting for these new rates. We will also cover health, accident, and personal liability insurance. This DAAD will cover. So the deadline is 1st December. The portal is already open. It's online portal where you have to apply. It's opened on 15th September and it's going on till 1st of December. So please make sure that you apply. And if you have any queries, I'll share my email ID with you all also. Now, the second program which I would like to talk about is in region scholarship program for Romana. I would like to talk about master studies at IIT Bombay first. This is a PhD. Yes, thank you so much. So in regions, and there's one more slide before that, if I'm not mistaken, Romana. No? Uh, Yes, this one. Thank you so much. So the main idea of this scholarship program is to offer qualified graduates and postgraduates from Bangladesh the opportunity to do master and PhD studies in select subjects programs only at the Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, which is IIT Bombay. And also one of the main objective is to strengthen academic cooperation within the regions and enhance mobility within the region and foster internationally oriented capacities to contribute to sustainable development. Next slide, please. So this program was initiated in 2015 and it's going great. In fact, earlier it was open to students from Bangladesh and Nepal only, but seeing the success, it has been not only continued for next 3 years, but also offered to the students from Bhutan and Sri Lanka. So eligible are graduate students. When I say graduate students, strictly 4-year bachelor's degree holders who would like to do a master's degree at IIT Bombay in the development related select subject fields like renewable energy, climate change, engineering fields, public health and good governance. So these are the restricted programs wherein you can apply. So if you want to do maybe mechanical engineering, it might not be funded. So there's a list of programs which you can apply for, and you can check with us if if it falls in under that purview or category of permissible study programs. The duration of the degree is 2 years. Next slide, please. Now, talking about the scholarship value, under this scholarship program, you will get a monthly stipend of 300 euros, a lump sum travel subsidy depending on country of origin, annual study and research allowance of 460 euros, printing allowance of 400 euros, study and research stay in Germany. It's optional for master studies, but mandatory for PhD. And of course, admission, tuition fee, and other relevant fees and insurance which are applicable at IIT Bombay, DAAD will be taking care of. So this is all what DAAD covers under this scholarship program. Now the portal will open on 1st of December and the deadline would be 18th January. Coming to the next slide, which is for PhD. Here, postgraduate students with a 2-year master's degree can apply to do a doctoral degree at IIT Bombay in the development related subject fields. They are the same as in the case of masters. I've already shown, and you can see it on the screen also. The duration of funding is 5 years because that's the duration of degree at IIT Bombay. Next slide. So of course it's PhD, so the monthly stipend and other allowances are bound to be higher. We will fund you with the monthly stipend of 500 euros, lump sum and travel study depending on country of origin, of course, annual study and research allowance of 920 euros, printing allowance of 800 euros, which basically you use at the end of the study program to print your thesis and stuff like that. And study and research stay in Germany. As I said, it's mandatory for PhD. You will also have to mention about it in your application somewhere at IIT Bombay. So this deadline is same, 1st December till 18th of January. Now, there are certain selection processes and criteria which one has to keep in mind. So you have to apply to IIT Bombay for admissions to master's or PhD degree, and to DAD for funding. So if you want to apply for in-region scholarship program to DAD, first you have to apply to IIT Bombay so that you can get admission. So the only those applicants who are selected by IIT Bombay for admission are eligible for a DAD scholarship. So as you know, it's very competitive. IIT Bombay is one of the best institutes in India. Um, it's not that easy to get admission there, but yes, it's open to the, we have had many applications in the past, and IIT Bombay does look forward to applications from Bangladesh, from the South Asia region. So you will have to apply there. Their deadlines have not been finalized as yet, but once they are, I will let you know, and I'll send you the link as to how to apply to IIT Bombay also. Other prerequisites are there should not be a gap of more than 6 years between the award of last degree and application deadline. So this is strictly for DAD. Your previous degree should not be older than 6 years. If it is, then you're not eligible. So it is the case with most of the long-term scholarship programs of DADs. Secondly, a candidate must be Bangladeshi national, irrespective of where maybe you're studying in India, you're doing a master's here in India, but as long as you're a national of Bangladesh, you are eligible for this program. Next slide. Now the process, how to apply for a DAD scholarship. Now this is in general. It's basically the steps that you should take. Although I might sound a little preachy, but I'm still going to name them because it's important that you follow these steps so that your application is complete and not rejected, at least on formal grounds. So first step is to gather information, visit our website. Second is to attend DAD information session, which you're doing right now. You're on track, I must say. Step 3 is to look up DAD scholarship database. It's basically in general for any scholarship that you're looking for. So look up the DAD scholarship database. Step 4 is identify scholarship program that you're interested in. Step 5, read scholarship announcement carefully from beginning till end. There's so many information, so many detailed information given in the announcement that I'm sure you don't want to miss out on. Otherwise, you can be in trouble. Step 6 is to apply before the deadline. Please do not wait for the deadline, the last minute. Don't procrastinate it till the end, because the portal gets choked because of the last hour rush. So if you want to avoid any technical glitches, any technical errors, please apply well before the deadline. Romana, is there next slide for me? I think I'm done with the scholarship bit.
Yes, thank you.
So I'll hand it over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pooja. Thank you for the wonderful information about this new program, new scholarship program that we have. So now to continue with another part of this whole journey to be in Germany is about the visa, which I am very sure that I will have in the Q&A session a lot of questions about it. Generally, one of our visa officers, German embassy's colleague, is there to give information on this. But today I will be doing it. Now, as you know, due to the corona, there is a lot of debate going on these visa issues. But please, I would request you all to direct those questions to the German embassy. They are working hard on it to fasten the process, but that is not on their hand. That is, everything is due to this corona, so one has to understand that. But still, I would provide the general information about visa requirements. And some of those requirements is about the documents, what you require to apply for a visa. Once you have a letter of admission from a German university, then you need to stand for your visa. And in order to do that, what you need is your letter of admission, your proof of secured livelihood, about 10,236 euro. Now you might ask me, what is this amount about? Yeah, this is the amount what I have showed you previously in a slide where about the living expenditure. You remember I showed you 853 euro monthly. Now that amount multiplied by 12 with some bank charges is this amount of 10,236 euro for 1 year that you have to block in a block account. Now, what do we mean by block account? Block account is an account that you have to create in Germany in a German bank and block this amount of money in order to prove to the German embassy that you have this secured livelihood money there in their account. There are two banks that are being accepted by the German embassy. One is called the Fintiba, the other one is Deutsche Bank. So you can open it up with any one of them, especially the German embassy always requests you to do it with the Fintiba. But please also have a look into the German embassy website. And these amount of 10,236 euro might also change from January 2021 because as I mentioned also earlier that the monthly livelihood amount is also going to change from 1st of January 2021. So please have a look over there. So that is about the block account. And the details, more details about the block account, please have a look into the German embassy website. Besides that, you will also require your all academic mark sheets since HSC and A-level, your proof of English or German proficiency. Now, what I mean by this is that those of you who want to go to Germany for your master studies in English medium, and IELTS or TOEFL is mandatory. Please note this down. If you want to go to Germany for your master studies in German medium of instruction, a minimum of B1 level of German language proficiency from Bangladesh is mandatory. The same goes for PhD studies. If you want to go for your PhD in English medium of instruction and IELTS or TOEFL is mandatory. If you want to go to Germany for your PhD studies in German medium of instruction, a minimum of B1 level of German language proficiency from Bangladesh is mandatory by the German embassy. Besides that, also you need to have your health insurance policy for 14 days. There are some specific health insurance companies that the German embassy accepts, so please have a look into that list in the embassy website and have your insurance from there. Now, the fees and duration of the visa process, generally you have 75 euro in BDT that you have to have for the visa processing. The duration is you have to apply for an appointment 10 to 12 weeks before departure. Your interview will be 6 to 8 weeks before departure, and visa will be 2 weeks right before departure. This is an information in the general timeline. For the Corona timeline, this is something different. So one has to really understand, as I already mentioned, that if you do have queries due to Corona, what is going to be the effect, what is going to happen, please do direct those questions to the German embassy directly. Now, these are some of the links that are very important for you. The first link is very, very important, the DAAD Bangladesh website, where you will find all information, even what we today presented in this website. The second one is study-in-germany.de. This is our database. The third one is also our international program database. These two also are very, very important for you to find a program for yourself. Then for the German Research Institution, we have the gerit.org.english. Then we have funding-guide.de, which is our scholarship database. And last but not the least, our German embassy website for visa queries and visa requirements. Yeah. And also we have our contact details. The first email address is very important for us because once you write to that email address, it comes to me and I will be answering those questions. So any question that you have that arises in your mind after today's session, you can of course direct it to here in this email address. The second one is for the visa section of the German embassy. If you have any question related to visa, then please do direct it to them. And then the third email address is our daily office, where Mrs. Pooja and Mrs. Dixit sits. So you can please also write to them if you have any questions related to 𝐏𝐚𝐽𝐜𝐤𝐚𝐬, related to scholarships. You can do direct it to them. You can also direct it to me and I will forward it to them. So with this, I will come to the end of the presentation. And I would like to open up the floor now for the Q&A. And I'm very sure that there are quite a number of questions that might be already there. So let me open up the chat box. So those of you who would like to ask questions can type their question in this chat box and I will be answering them. I'll be reading them out and answering them. So let me see what we have here in our chat box. Okay. There is a question from I don't know from who is it, from Rielma, who is saying, does CGPA matters? CGPA, yes, CGPA does matter, of course, because Germany believes on excellence. And for an admission in a program, of course, CGPA do matters, yeah? I think I scrolled down to the very last question, but let me start up from the very first question. From Aminul Islam Tanveer has asked, can we get the presentation of this program? I think there will be a Facebook Live thing that will be going on, but I won't be able to share with you the presentation, yeah, directly. That is not possible, but you can get this information from our website, daadbangladesh.org. Then MD Ghaziul Islam has asked, I have an important question about DAAD scholarship. Why DAAD can't give scholarship in biological science? Maybe Anurupa can answer this question because it is about DAAD scholarship.
Yeah, thank you, Rumana. It's not very clear what level this person is looking for a scholarship. At bachelor's and master's, we don't have any scholarship in the field of science and engineering. But for PhD, it is open to all subject areas. So he needs to clarify what he's talking about. Thank
Exactly.
you.
Yeah, thank you, Anurupa. Yes, exactly. I would say the same thing, that Mr. Islam, you need to clarify for which degree are you planning to apply for a DAAD scholarship. You just mentioned biological science, so we will be happy if you can mention it to us for which level of study.
He's saying masters.
He's saying master's. So yes, Anurupa. So there is no DAAD scholarship for biological science in master's level. Okay, then there is a question from Obaidul Haq. My secondary and higher secondary was from science. Now I am fourth year student doing bachelor in library management department. After completing this, I want to go to Germany for my second bachelor in any science related subject. Is it possible? What should be my next step for that? Yes, your next step should be, if you want to go for a second bachelor program, you can definitely do that. But then for that, the next step would be to look for a program in our databases. And once you find a program, then you can apply to the program. If you complete your bachelor, whatever you are doing now, then of course you can apply for a second bachelor program. There's no harm in it. Jubair Hossein is asking, is there any way to go there by transferring credit? If you are saying about transferring credit in bachelor level, no, there is no system of transferring the credits. Yeah, but the general rule is that if you want to go for bachelor studies, actually we don't want to cover the bachelor studies here in our presentation, because we don't want you to leave Rajshahi University. That is not our intention why we are doing this session. So that's the reason why we do not focus on bachelor studies to that extent. But for your information, if you want to go for bachelor studies in Germany, the general rule is that if you have just completed your 12th class, your HSC or A-level or any diploma, then you are not able to apply directly to a German university for your bachelor studies. What happens is that there are two options. You have to take up any one of the options. First option says you have to do 1 year of university study in Bangladesh. That means you have to get yourself enrolled in a UGC accredited university in Bangladesh, and you have to get yourself enrolled in a 4 years program. Once you have completed 1 year amount of credits from a UGC accredited university in Bangladesh, then you can apply to a German university. But that does not mean that you are able to transfer the credits. You will be only getting eligible to apply. Yeah. And the second option says that you have to apply for a Studienkolleg in Germany. You cannot go directly to the university, but you have to complete this Studienkolleg, which is called the Study Foundation. A Study Foundation program you have to complete in Germany. This is a 1 year program. And once you complete that, then you can go for university studies. And in order to apply for a study foundation program in Germany, you have to have at least B1 level of German language proficiency from Bangladesh. Shujoy Shaha is asking, can I ask my question vocally? Yes, you can do that. If you can put your microphone on, if you can unmute yourself, then you can ask your question vocally.
Okay, am I audible? I'm Shujasha.
Yes.
Okay, so my question
Yes,
is
yes, please.
that you have said that I need B1 German proficiency for applying for visa. Well, I was hoping to apply for PhD in the next December, by next December actually. So when do I have to get proficient in B1 German language? By when? I mean, while applying, or is it after applying? Because right
So
now I don't
you,
have the time to be that much proficient in German language
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
before
So,
the procedure.
so Mr. Shujo, you want to apply for PhD studies, if I correctly understood you, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Currently in machine learning based works and
Hmm.
artificial intelligence.
Okay, for PhD studies, the B1 level of German language proficiency is not required. For B1, if you want to go for your PhD studies in English medium, and IELTS or TOEFL is mandatory.
Okay, I have
Yeah?
TOEFL.
If you want to go for the English medium of instruction program, it's IELTS or TOEFL. But if you want to go for the German medium, then only B1 level is required. Yeah.
Okay,
So I guess you want to do it in English, right?
yeah, I want to do it in English, but in some universities, I was searching for universities. So they wrote that yes, I do need to have some sort of German proficiencies. So I'm confused that do I have to show my German proficiency while applying, or is it after applying? So
well, that depends on the university. That depends on the university, because what I mentioned is the embassy requirement. Yeah.
okay.
The embassy requires you to have at least B1 if you are planning to do your PhD in German. Yeah.
Okay.
But if the university tells you, although it's an English medium program, that you have to have some prerequisite, then please check with the university what is the minimum that they want to have, and by when should you have it. Should you be having it while applying or after applying? Yeah, that depends on the university then. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I
well,
got an answer.
Rahul Rudra is asking how much CGPA is needed for scholarship. Anurupa, would you like to take up this question?
Yeah. See, normally for masters, if you're planning to go to Germany, you should have around 75% marks. So whatever is equivalent CGPA is what you require. For doing a PhD, we generally ask for 60%, don't ask for anything more. So I think that should have answered his question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Anurupa. Akash Ahmed is asking what is the best way for learning German? Well, I think that question should be answered by Mrs. Manjula Chaudhary or Professor Shahidullah, because Mrs. Manjula Chaudhary is the German language teacher in your university, and probably she can give you a better idea of that, or the Goethe Institute. If you're not from Rajshahi University, then probably the Goethe Institute can answer that question. What is the best way of learning German? Von Shaumitra Bishash is asking what is the minimum requirement of German language level to study in master's program in English language. I think I've already answered that, Shaumitra. You do not need to have German language proficiency if you are planning to go for a master's program in English medium. In those cases, you need only IELTS or TOEFL. Yeah? If you're going for a German medium program, then German language B1 is required. Shorop Das is asking, general IELTS is applicable, general IELTS score will be applicable for PhD. Yes, general IELTS score. Do DAAD provide scholarship for food science and technology either in master's or PhD? For PhD, it is open to all the field, but for masters, there is no DAAD scholarship in food science and technology. 𝐏𝐚𝐬𝐚𝐬𝐚𝐽𝐻 bin Amir is asking, you have shown a slide that 10,300 needed to show to get visa. Is this needed if a student have DAAD MSc scholarship? No, this block account money is not required if you get a DAAD scholarship. Yeah. Then Rahul Rudra is asking how much CGPA matters for master's scholarships. I think this question has been already answered. Afia Mahadin is asking, please tell something about getting master's degree in mechanical engineering and mechatronics fields. Are there any scholarships? Well, there are no scholarships, but you can look into a database for finding programs in your field. Rizwan Karim is asking, ma'am, basically I'm a student of Islamic Studies department. Can I go to Germany to do masters in another course? Yes, of course, you can do that. You should find a program from our database and try to apply. Shirazam Munira is asking, I'm an electrical engineering student. For getting the DAAD scholarship for my master's degree, is it necessary to have 2 years work experience? Well, first of all, for electrical engineering, if you want to go for your master's program, there is no DAAD scholarship, but you can look for something relevant or something in your area from the DAAD EPOS program, the DAAD development related postgraduate courses, but you need to have 2 years of work experience on that specific field that you select from our list. So all in all, I think the chances for getting a DAAD scholarship in masters in electrical engineering is not going to be there. So Josephine Roy is asking, after how many days a result published after you apply for a DAAD scholarship? Is it published in the website? Anurupa, maybe you can take this question up.
Yes, Josephine, first of all, we will go through your application. For example, I've already written to you what is missing from your application, and you need to submit those within a reasonable time, ideally within a week, 10 days maximum. Then your application will go to German and Indian professors for pre-selection, also Bangladeshi at times, and there would be a round of interviews. How it is going to happen this year, we don't know. That would be in the first 2 weeks of February. Thereafter, by end April, you would come to know the results, but we will convey it to you individually via email. And yeah, by 1st August, you start with the German language course if you get selected, and then 1st October onwards, the PhD starts. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
There's a question from Shaumitra Bishwas. Maybe Anurupa, you also have to take this up. Can I bring my spouse to Germany if I get any scholarship?
Yes, of course. There is always spouse visa, especially for PhD. We even have child support. So you get spouse allowance, child allowance. It is possible if the family plans to stay with you for more than 6 months at a time, it is possible to get that kind of support. Otherwise, also, if you are registered as a student in Germany, you can always take your family with your own funds. There's no stopping about that. There's no restriction to that. Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Anurupa. There is a question from Shaminul Islam. How many university available in English medium for bachelor? Very few. Very few. If you go to our database, the number of universities available in English medium for bachelor is very low, but please have a look over there still. Angona Bishwas is asking, does DAAD provide the scholarship for MSc degree in engineering field, electronics and telecommunication engineering? No, unfortunately, no. Then Turjo is asking, will coronavirus will coronavirus make our process of going to Germany in 2021 harder? No one knows, actually. At the moment we are in such a condition, it's very unpredictable. And yes, one has to see. One has to really see. But let's keep our fingers crossed. Mahatab Hossain is asking, does DAAD provide scholarship for MSc degree in EEE? No, unfortunately not. Then we have a question from Atia Shahnaz IPA. Will working in a Mars rover team be considered as a job if I'm going to study robotics engineering? First of all, if you're planning to apply for the robotic engineering program, whether you need a work experience or not depends on the university. Generally, for master's program, there are no work experience required. Work experience is required only for our DAAD development related postgraduate courses, which are called EPOS program. Yeah, So first of all, for robotic engineering, we do not have any DAAD scholarship. Yeah, so I think that answers your question about the work experience. Shiraju Munira is asking, I'm a student of second year of Rajshahi University. Can I transfer credit to any subject for bachelor degree? Do I have to take an IELTS? So I think I've already answered this question before also, that transferring credit is not possible. If you complete 1 year of university studies, 1 year amount of credits, then you are eligible to apply to a German university for bachelor studies, but you cannot transfer your credits. For the IELTS, it depends on the program. If it is a German medium program, then German language B1 is mandatory. If it is an English medium program, IELTS or TOEFL is course required, but for bachelor English medium program is very, very few in our database. Nishat Lubna is asking, how much funding should I have to show? So please check with the German embassy website. At the moment, it is 10,236 euro that you have to show in your block account. But from next year, it will increase, so have a look into the website. M. Rafi is asking, is there any computer vision machine learning program in MSc? One has to check, Rafi, in our database. Atia Shanas is asking, will working, I think I have already answered this question. Rumi is asking, I'm a student from CSE department. Is it necessary to show my work experience for doing MSc in Germany? Or can I apply with general IELTS score and undergraduate certificates? As I mentioned already, that working experience is only for the DAAD scholarship for development-related postgraduate courses, not for applying to a MSc program in Germany.
And Romana, general IELTS is not acceptable. It has to be the academic IELTS or TOEFL. And that's very important.
For the PhD, yes.
No, even otherwise.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so please note that down also, that not the general IELTS, but the academic IELTS is required. So Abreshmi Al-Faria is asking, I'm an MBBS doctor and I would like to know what are my opportunities and how should I apply if I want to be a researcher. Anurupa, would you like to take up this question?
Yeah, thank you. Very important thing here is that with just the medical undergraduate degree, that's MBBS, it is not possible to go and do research in Germany. Number two, it is also very important to keep in mind that you cannot do any research in which human experimentation is required. If you are experimenting on animals, there are a lot of ethical practices which we do not really follow in our countries, but in Germany they're very strict about those laws. One has to see that. On top of everything, what is very important is medicine related work in Germany generally is only in German. Apart from that, if you need more information on what you know, if for medicine our in subcontinent degrees are not actually accepted, because in Germany the system is very different. So you will always have to kind of get some authority to authenticate authenticate and accreditate your MBBS degree. Only then you can think of doing any further studies. Romana, you can add to it if you think I missed something.
No, I think you have already mentioned, and specifically you have to have very good German language proficiency for doctors. Yeah? For medicine studies, actually, it is very, very required because you have very few programs in medical studies in English. Yeah, I mean, we don't have any actually. So all in all, you have to have very good German language proficiency. That's very, very important. Okay, so the second question, we are already running out of time, but I won't be taking up a lot of questions. I think we have almost answered all the questions, but then also I will take up 2-3 questions and then I'll close the session. So one question is from MD Anna Hamid. Is 75% of the CGPA and MS degree strictly maintained? I mean, if I have 60 to 65% of CGPA, can I apply for the MS degree? It depends on the university. Of course, you know, excellence is required. You have to have very good grades, that's for sure. But whether you will get an admission or not with 60 to 65% of CGPA will be decided by the university. Amina Urmi is asking, DAAD provides scholarship for masters in nutritional science. No, unfortunately not. Hasib Rahman is asking, I think master's engineering program should be eligible for DAAD scholarship as engineers play a significant role in a country. Yes, Hasib, we do understand, but it is a decision from our head office and we are not able to really influence that. Yeah. MD Hassan, I'm a post-graduating from Sanskrit. Can I do MBA in Germany? It depends. It depends, I think the chances are very low, due to the fact that you are doing your graduation in Sanskrit, which is completely something different from an MBA. But still then it's a professional degree. MBA is a professional degree, so one has to check with the program that you are planning to apply to whether you are eligible for that program. So the last question I'm going to take up for today, Rezwanul Islam. Does DAAD provide scholarship for MSc in mechanical engineering? No. Again, sorry, we do not provide any scholarship in master's level in engineering field. So with that, I think we have come to the end of the session. And if I have missed any questions that I have not answered today, then please do write to the email addresses that are being shown in our slide, dhaka@daadbangladesh.org, and we'll be happy to answer your question.
Rumana, I would like to add here, I think most of the questions were directed for masters in Germany. So yes, we do not offer scholarships at master level for subjects like engineering, natural sciences, so on and so forth. But at IIT Bombay, as I had mentioned earlier, there's so many programs that we offer scholarship in. For example, general engineering subjects like mechatronics, mining, energy systems engineering, biomedical, process engineering. There are communication engineering, so on and so forth. So if you're interested to do it at IIT Bombay, there's a vast scope of that you can get funding in these subject fields. So please do consider IIT Bombay also. That's all I'm trying to say. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Pooja. Thank you to point that out again, that if you're not getting a DAAD scholarship in for Germany, then you do get a DAAD scholarship for studying in IIT Bombay, and their engineering fields are being covered in master's level as well. So please have a look over there. Yeah. Thank you, Pooja, for mentioning that again. And with that, I would like to end the session, and over to you, Anamika.
Thank you, ma'am. In our comment section, there is the same types of question. Can I say?
Yes, please.
I doing. The question is from Ashikul Islam. I doing BSc engineering in Tripoli under a college of University of Rajshahi. If I want to do in study in Germany, how should I have to do?
Well, if you had been there in the presentation while I was presenting the whole presentation, I think I have already answered that question, and that is you have to find a program for yourself, first of all, from our databases. And once you find a program for yourself, then you should apply to that program depending on the requirements, depending on the application procedure. You should apply to that program. And after you apply to that program, if you get an offer letter, then you can apply for the student visa. So that's the process. That's the steps that you have to follow. I hope I have answered your question.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to request our Honorable Chairperson of IEEE University of Rajshahi Student Branch, Hossein MD Sabir, to say something.
Thank you, Anamika. At first, I would like to thank you, the honorable speakers, Pooja ma'am, Anuradha ma'am, and obviously Rumana Kabir ma'am, for such an wonderful and informative session. And also Professor Shahidullah, sir, director of the Institute of English and Other Language, University of Rajshahi. And also thanks to Nahid Rahman sir, assistant professor of Ahsanul University of Science and Technology, Department of Tripoli. He gave me the idea of arranging such a wonderful and informative session. Then I, on the behalf of my whole organizing team, of IEEE University Rajshahi Student Branch, we are paying our acknowledgement and humble gratitude for your incredible lecture and presentation, which rolled our webinar flourishing and successful. Your excellent and earnest, lively speaking stimulated the session and enormous knowledge on higher study in Germany. IEEE University Rajshahi Student Branch is proud and delighted to have you all as a part. We are greatly honored and encouraged that you all gave your precious time for us. We wish to continue a good relation in future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our Honorable Chair, Hossein MD Sabir. Honorable audience, I am cordially requested you to turn on your camera in order to capture an screenshot. Please. I again request to our honorable participants, please try to cooperate and try to turn on your camera.
You can see me, I suppose.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. I can't see myself. Okay.
We cannot see Sabir.
Ma'am, I am out of home and it's totally dark now. So
Okay.
Ma'am, is it okay if I stop your screen sharing?
What did you say? Sorry.
We could not hear you.
Ma'am, here requested you to share off your screen.
Yeah. Sure. I will try to do that right away. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I'm taking a screenshot of the first page.
এর মধ্যে আমি একটা ছোট করে একটু কথা বলি যে হচ্ছে আমাদের এই পুরো সেশনটা হচ্ছে রেকর্ড হয়েছে, তাছাড়া আমাদের ফেসবুক লাইভ তো হয়েছেই, আর এই রেকর্ড ফাইলটা আমরা পুরোটাই হচ্ছে আমাদের ইউটিউব চ্যানেল IEEE ইউনিভার্সিটি রাজশাহী স্টুডেন্ট ব্রাঞ্চের ইউটিউব চ্যানেলে আমরা খুব দ্রুত এটাই পাবলিশ করে দেব সবার জন্য, যাতে করে যদি কোনো মিসিং হয়ে থাকে ইনফরমেশন তাহলে যাতে আপনারা সবাই পেতে পারেন ইনশাআল্লাহ। ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you, Sabir, for doing that wonderful work. Thank you, Anamika, and thanks to the whole Rajshahi University, especially also to Professor Shahidullah and Professor Manjula Chaudhary for, organizing this, cooperating with this department to work together. This had been a wonderful journey, I would say, and we would love to continue this journey in the coming years as well, if we are not able to come physically, but we hope to come physically next year, inshallah.
Thank you. See you again.
Okay, take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very
so
much.
much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Honorable host, is it done?
Choose.
Yeah,
Sorry?
it's done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
You.
So now we can leave.
Yes, of course.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
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 Bye. Good to see
Hope
you.
that we will meet again with a new webinar as soon as possible. Stay well,
Yeah.
stay safe.
Yeah.
Thank
Of course,
you.
we will do that.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.